Ho! Hey folks, Hacksaw Jim Duggan here, and for the past 2 years, we've been talking about it, my 1946 Super Deluxe Hackmobile. And here it finally is. Look, it's gorgeous, crimson and silver, 1946, right after the big WW2. And it's kind of just like old Hacksaw, kind of old on the outside, but new on the inside. When we first got it, it was a 1946 Plymouth, but thanks to my good friend, a guy that's a mechanic, an artist, a body guy. Come on over, Craig. I'd like to introduce everybody to my friend Craig Swan, who took this car and put everything new in it, huh, Craig?
Yeah, quite a bit.
We did a lot of work on it. Of course, I know, folks, the first thing everybody wants to see, and when you look at the front of it, the detailed work. 1946, I still get excited. This lights up at night, and it's got the Plymouth ship here from Plymouth Rock. And I got that's the 46 Plymouth, of course. And we got a special coating on this. What kind of coating is it?
That's a ceramic coating.
A ceramic coating, so man, it's going to shine like this at all times. And look at the sun visor on it, man. Is that something super cool? Beautiful. And now we're on to we're going to pop up and open the hood, because wait till you see, we got all kinds of surprises in there. So hi guys, here it is. The engine again is a
350 small block Chevrolet.
350 small block Chevrolet. So that's got a little horsepower, huh?
Yeah, 350 cubic inches.
Very cool. And we had to find this radiator. It was kind of a hard deal to find this radiator.
Yeah, the 75-year-old radiator that was in it exceeded its lifespan. So I searched the world over for an aluminum radiator for a 1946 Plymouth, which probably wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but we got it.
It's a specially made radiator for the 46 and the small block Chevy. And check this out. Check the air filter out. The old Hackmobile. We'll be taking this to car shows probably all over North America as the Hackmobile. Forget the Batmobile, we got the Hackmobile.
Hey, it matches your shirt.
And yep, hey, good call, brother. It does, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, and nice job they did on the artwork there. And also, now we had to put a new transmission in it.
We did. So, when you talk about cruising to Florida, the transmission that was in it obviously was non-negotiable. So, we put a GM 700R4 overdrive transmission. Put a brand new 9-inch Ford rear end, and then Jim says, "Brother, how about 4-wheel disc brake?" So, we managed to pull a rabbit out of the hat on that. That was good. We got 4-wheel disc brake.
So new transmission, new 4-wheel disc brakes, and check the wheels out on this thing.
Yeah.
Craig, a special artist on the wheels. I mean, they're just gorgeous with these huge white walls. I mean,
reflective mirrors.
Yeah, there we go, honey. Yeah, thanks for getting that in. There's my camera woman. Deborah's always taking care of everybody. Give us a hole, honey.
Oh.
The neighbors are used to us.
Yeah. So I worked with a company out in California called Wheelsmith, and they made these wheels custom one-off for this car. And then of course we had to paint them to match. They were able to give us the center cap, chrome trim rings for the outside. So we ended up going to a 16-inch wheel, and the car came with bias ply tires, which kind of rode like Freddie Flintstone. No good. So I was able to find the radial tires correct to the car. So the tires and wheels, you would almost have second mortgage a farm for it. Again, it's not like something you can go to a tire dealer in town pulling off the shelf. So
we did everything. I mean, the wheels, the tires, the transmission.
Yeah.
How about the rear end? How's the old Hacksaw Mobile rear end doing, man?
Beautiful, brand new, 9-inch Ford, 336 rear end gears with an overdrive transmission. This thing will cruise down the highway like your modern day car.
Very cool. Come and walk around in the back of it with me, Craig. I tell you, what the artwork of this thing is built. And what really got me are these little blue lights right here. I got a kick out of those little blue lights on the thing. And of course, everything lights up at night. Again, the Plymouth ship will light up at night. I mean, is that from 1946?
We got a
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
1946 license plate
this
to put on
car
it.
Yeah, we
originally,
do have a 46 license plate for it, so we're going to get that on there.
originally this car was 6-volt positive ground, so we swapped it over to 12 volt. So we had to put in a new fuse panel, run all new wiring harnesses, change all the light bulbs to 12 volt, and then of course Jim wanted the dome lights, so we ended up putting Whalen LED dome lights in the side panels up in the front that light up pretty good.
Yeah, and look at the dual tailpipes. I mean, you get people see they pull up where their Lexuses, they'll pull up with their Teslas, they'll pull up with the Mercedes. 1946 Plymouth. We're going to steal the show. We're now kind of the sweet spot, the inside.
Yes.
And I told Craig, I mean, when we first got it, all the other things I told him, I said, okay, Craig, how about captain's chairs with armrests? He said, I don't know, but the magician came through with it. Look at this. Hey folks, we're inside the interior of the Hackmobile. I'm going to get the camera from Deborah. She's been doing a great job to show you a little bit more of the interior. But right off the bat, you can see the doors. No electric doors or windows. You have to roll up the window, rolling on up. And it has these wing windows, which old timers will remember that. And of course, over here we have my buddy Craig again. Wave to everybody, Craig. How you doing?
Good, man, good.
And of course, look at this. He put in a tilt steering wheel. How'd that go?
Well, you're kind of a stretched out lawn fella, so I wanted to make as much room in here as I can. So the steering column is actually made for an 86 Chevy pickup.
Here, hold that for me. Go ahead, keep explaining, please. Let me show the folks he's doing that. See this? Look at this, man. Tilt steering wheel in 1946 Hackmobile. But go ahead, buddy. Explain to him.
Yeah, so the steering wheel columns for a 86 Chevy Silverado. So we color matched and painted it to match the car. It had a big, huge, gigantic school bus steering wheel in here. And there wasn't enough room for Jim and the seats and captain's chairs and all that. So that's what we come up with. It was a perfect fit. Nice new steering wheel. Got the old school Herman Munster hot rod shifter in there.
Look at that, automatic. We didn't want a manual. I went right to the automatic.
Yeah.
And look at all this work here. I tell you, it is gorgeous, man. All these old knobs are original. You know, you got the heating fan, and this knob here, this opens a vent up on your hood, so it gets a little more air coming in. So you can actually get a little vent going that way.
So we are going to put vintage air conditioning in here when Jim's ready.
Yeah,
to
down
do
the
that.
road. Yeah, we'll be driving this for a while. But also, now let's go ahead and talk about the seats, Craig.
Yeah, the seats. So my buddy Jim says, Craig, can we do captain's chairs? And I said, well, maybe. So I did some thinking, and these seats actually came out of a 1990 Chevy Suburban. And I brought the seats home. Jim come up to my shop. It looks like they get chewed on by rats. They were pretty rough.
They look rough. I didn't think he'd be able to pull it off, man.
So I sent
to
him
match up the original rug.
Yeah, so I cut the seat bases down to make them fit him and the car and everything, with trying to keep in mind that I wanted to make sure Deborah could drive this, you know, so make sure her little feet could touch the pedals. He wanted his armrest. We got him his armrests. Then I sent the seats out right here in town to Carmichael's Upholstery. They did an awesome job reupholstering these seats. You would never know they came out of a 1990.
You would never know, man. And comfortable, and just captain's chairs in the Hackmobile.
Yeah.
And it true is a Hackmobile. A little of this, a little of that. Old on the outside, new on the inside. It's something else, Craig.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. And again, look at these, the throttle, the headlights, the choke.
Yeah, and back to that steering wheel column.
Go
On
ahead.
the other end of that was a huge, gigantic school bus steering system that was so wore out. If you had to make a left-hand turn, you better start turning the wheel a quarter of a mile before you got there. So I also converted this over to a rack and pinion steering. So yeah,
they could turn it. And also look at the gauges on this. We had to send it up into Virginia, had new gauges put in for the brand new engine, has 0 miles on it. These gauges, the speedometer is run by the GPS, so that is something else. So, you know, of all the conveniences of the Hackmobile, one you wouldn't think of, but everybody needs, is a dome light. But how do you get a dome light into a 1946 Plymouth? And of course, my buddy Craig, the magician, he did it. You turn the old headlight deal and look down there. Dome lights.
they're actually pretty bright.
They're bright as can be. 1946, and you know the engine was so big, we had to move the battery from the engine compartment to the trunk, right, Greg?
Yeah, there wasn't enough room up
Was
there.
it originally a 6-volt battery?
Yeah, it was, and it was just a little tiny thing. So switching it to 12 volt, it's a pretty, it's a regular sized car battery. But after we stuffed that 350 V8 Chevrolet in there wasn't any room for it.
So we got the battery in the trunk. And I got to tell you folks, one of the neatest things about this car is the way you start it. Here's the key down here. First you say contact, you turn the key on. Over here's the button. Listen to that 350 Chevy.
350 Chevrolet.
It's rumbling, man, I'll tell you. And the Plymouth, the Hackmobile is getting ready to go from inside out. And just a little shot. And of course, fly in down there. You know Hacksaw, Jim Duggan. We got to have old Gory going. I tell you, I can't wait to be out there driving around, folks. If you see me, I'll be rolling down my window, not pushing a button. Wave at me, say hello, give me a thumbs up, a big ho, and I'll see you on the road, tough guy. Ho!
Oh.